Hi, everybody. So today I had the chance to see the latest Lego movie. I'm still in my Comic-Con cosplay. I went right after Comic-Con, saw the late screening, was able to squeeze it in, and of Lego Ninjago. I was pretty, I don't know, I was excited because I've liked the Lego movies so much so far, and but I was also just sort of like hesitant because I hadn't been really thrilled with any of the trailers for this yet. And so I don't know. I was just, I guess, had sort of mixed feelings coming into it. But I was, of course, very hopeful. And I must say, I left feeling pretty underwhelmed. I don't know. Let's talk about some of the positives. So Lego Ninjago, it has beautiful animation, but I don't think neither Lego Batman or Lego Ninjago live up to the potential of the Lego movie. The Lego movie artistically was so impressive because every time you jumped into water, the water was Legos and it moved. When there was fire, the fire was Legos. It was just so much more sort of rich and detailed and interesting and beautiful to watch. Whereas in both Lego Batman and Lego Ninjago, it just feels more conveyor belt, more assembly line, more pump them out kind of a thing. And I think especially for this one, since it's the second one that we've gotten this year, it feels a little bit sort of more repetitive. But aside from some of those sort of richer things, the core animation is good. Positive for me about this movie is anything involving the cat I thought was funny. And it worked, and it was creative and new and surprising. And, it definitely fed into the whole kaiju kind of Godzilla kind of thing with the Japanese culture. And so that was all really fun. The downside to this movie is that it feels really repetitive and really derivative. And I think it's because it feels derivative of the previous two the previous two Lego movies, but it also feels derivative of things like Avatar. Like each of the characters has their own element that they have, but then they don't really use it in interesting ways. I'm talking about Avatar, the series. But then it also feels derivative of the Kung Fu Panda movies, which are sort of hip and cool and have daddy issues and stuff like that. And I don't think it's as good as any of those Kung Fu Panda movies, maybe the first one. And then so it's just feeling derivative of all these things, whereas the other ones felt fresh and new and funny and whatever. So that's a problem. Second thing that's a problem is that the story just feels kind of fragmented. It's weird because it feels very different than the trailers. There's actually a bunch of scenes that are in the trailer that aren't in the movie. Like in the trailer, there's this scene of a bride running with her groom, and the groom gets his foot caught, and she says, "I'll always remember you." That's not in the movie. There's just a bunch of scenes like that are different or changed or whatever, or not in the movie. But I felt like, I don't know, I felt like there's this, you think that you're getting, it's like part high school movie, teen movie, it's part kaiju Godzilla movie, so monster movie, it's part ninja movie, it's part sort of an adventure movie. I don't know, it was just sort of fractured all over the place. And the voice acting for the most part is pretty good. I liked the voice of Lloyd that was pretty. Dave Franco, I think he was good, and Jackie Chan was good. Although, honestly, kind of liked his character in Nut Job a little bit better. I thought it was a little funnier, a little more creative, but I'm like the only person in the world who probably thought that. But anyway, and but he's fine. He sort of fills the Dustin Hoffman role from Kung Fu Panda. The Lord Gargamon or whatever, I felt like he was trying to be, Justin Theroux was trying to be Lord Business, and it just ended up feeling kind of annoying to me. I didn't really like him as a villain, didn't really like his character. And the problem is that like in the Lego movie, there's a direct reason why Lord Business is the villain. it's his father, you know, and he's got these issues with his father not wanting him to play in the Legos set and other things like that. And they have this moment of connection. It's really moving. It's really beautiful. But in this movie, the live action sort of section, aside from the cat, which is very funny, it kind of reminded me of the Lone Ranger, to be honest. You know, this is like this sage guide telling the story to this little boy, which didn't have that like emotional connection, and it certainly didn't have an emotional connection to the actual characters in the movie that were, you know, actually part of this boy's life and reflecting who he was, and that gave it emotion in the original Lego movie. And so yeah, I don't know, I didn't really like that. And there's like a few nice moments between them as far as father and son dynamic or whatever, but I don't think it I don't think it was great. I really don't. Like I could even say that the moments between the Kristen Wiig character and the girls in Despicable Me 3, I think that was actually like felt more heartfelt to me than the father son moments in this. And so I don't know. It just wasn't great. It wasn't that funny. It felt kind of boring to me. I think certainly if kids really like the show, I've never seen the show, but if they like the show, then they'll probably like it, and they will probably like it. Kids will like it. It's more for kids, but at least for me, I was kind of bored. I like there was nobody in my theater, so I just kind of started texting because I was just not very engaged in the film. But anyway, and I wouldn't do that if there were people in the theater, I promise. But that's sort of my report on Lego Ninjago. I would probably give it something like a C, but I would definitely rather watch Nut Job 2 or Leap over this, personally. Even though those were like more generic, I was just entertained more by them. But that's just me. So anyway, let me know what you think of Lego Ninjago. And thanks so much. Please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you later.